This is going to be one of them videos where I kind of just sit and gabble. I haven't thought of what I want to say, and hopefully I'll just put a little bit of narrative in the edit, because otherwise it'll be shit. Loads of YouTubers have been talking recently about how they're really scared and stuff of like making videos. I don't get it, because when you're making a video, all you're doing is sitting and talking to a camera, right? So are they scared of their cameras? Because if they're scared of cameras, then they should have realised that when they were in the shop buying it. Look, I don't know if you can see that in the mirror, but look, there's you. In October, my Xbox Live membership expired, and the card that I used to pay for the account with was also expired, and so they couldn't do their auto renew. So they sent me loads and loads of emails, like an email a day for about a month, saying give us some money or you can't play Xbox anymore. And I did what everybody does when they're being faced by someone who's asking them to give them money that they don't have, which was to essentially go, hey, look over there. The joke was on me, because when I went to renew my membership, it took me 2 fucking hours. I ended up having to phone them up and stay on hold for about 10 years, and then answer loads of really boring questions that I didn't really know the answer to. Although it wasn't as bad as the time when I phoned up to try and get internet banking set up for my old bank account. When I phoned up, and eventually after like an hour, I got to speak to someone. I'm not going to say what the bank is, but it rhymes with Lalirax. They said, we're going to have to ask you some security questions just to check that you are you. And I said, but I'm just phoning up to get online access to my account. I'm not asking you to take any money out of it. No, but we have to ask you the questions. Okay, fine. Usually these sorts of things are like, you know, mother's maiden name and your first dog and the name of the first girl who let you slip the second finger in and all that sort of thing. But these were ridiculous questions. They asked me like what my first car was, which I could answer because at the time it was the car that I had. This account doesn't exist anymore, by the way, so if you think you're going to be like Sherlock Holmes and, you know, find out the answers to all of these questions, then there's no point. The account doesn't exist anymore. Another question that the guy asked me was how much money's in the account. I didn't know. It was about 17p or something. So I said less than £1, and he said I need a precise number. And I said, I don't know. And he said, well, don't you have your newest statement with you? But even if I did have the statement there, I would have spent some money since that came in. I spend money, it's what I do. So I said, well, I don't know, like 20p maybe? And he went, right. I went, oh, does that mean I got the answer right? He went, no. So there was like 10 questions. The final one was, how long have you had this account? I can't remember when I set up my bank account. The guy said, well, you know, just give me an estimate. I went, oh, 2006 or 2007? And he went, I need a year. I went, but you said give you an estimate, that's what I've done. He went, no, I need a year. And I went, okay, fine, 2006. I went, okay, oh, did I get it right? He went, nope. I went, oh. And then he said, well, Mr. my real surname, I've asked you all the security questions and you got 2 of them right. I went, okay. And he went, and because you didn't get enough of the security questions right, I'm not going to be able to help you with your request today, I'm afraid. Goodbye, click. So the next day I went and opened a bank account with a different banking company, and that original account is now closed. Bye.